My dear friends, we love you so very much. There are always people in your world who will delight you and those who will rub you the wrong way. There are always songs you will enjoy and types of music that you'd rather not hear. There are foods you love to eat and foods you love to avoid. It was meant to be this way, and while the foods you don't like will not jump off the plate and into your mouth, nor will the music you do not like turn itself on and play, there are people you don't care for who will attempt to assert their reality, beliefs, and behaviors into your life. At the 3D level, they can do this. In the world of energy, however, no one can force a vibration into your field unless you resonate with it. No one can make you feel a certain way unless you already have that feeling lurking somewhere within, waiting for the button to be pushed. The more you practice finding good feelings, the lesser feelings of others will impact you. Your buttons can become mostly unpushable. Your buttons can even dissolve in the light of love. If you look at this from a biological standpoint, the nerve cells in your brain wire together along tracks much like links of a railroad track. The more emotionally impactful an event, the stronger the wiring. Suppose someone comes up to you and yells at you. If you have practiced feeling good, those nerve cells are wired to feel good, and this person's bad feeling has nothing to activate within you. However, if you still have strong upsets or defenses brewing within, then when someone yells, you have circuits that can be activated. When something inside of you is a vibrational match to someone else's energy, your buttons can be pushed. This is yet one more reason we remind you often that you deserve to feel good. You deserve to feel better when you cannot feel good. You deserve to feel soothed when you can't feel better easily. You deserve, dear friends, to have a brain wired for goodness rather than a brain wired to take offense, react, and defend your own inner goodness. You deserve to have peace rather than worry. You deserve to have assistance rather than feeling alone. You deserve to be treated kindly, and when you are not, you deserve to remain above the vibration coming at you. Only a wounded soul would find temporary relief in the experience of being unkind to others. Eventually, you will see this and take no offense. In practical terms, when someone comes at you with a strong and unpleasant vibration, the best thing you can do is to either flow light toward them or imagine their denser energies passing right through or around you. It is best to remain silent, to listen first, then speak with impact later. You can repeat what they said and then ask if they'd like another perspective. You can say nothing. Their unpleasant energy has little to do with you and everything to do with their own internal state. Your energy has nothing to do with them and everything to do with your internal state. So, as you run into souls who are upset and trying to assert their opinions into your reality, remind yourself, no one can insert a vibration into my field unless I have a match. Countless radio programs are being broadcast, and you can only hear them when your receiver is tuned into a given station. Countless cell phone conversations are being broadcast, and you only hear the one that matches the number you connect with. Likewise, countless conversations are going on in your personal life and upon your earth. Which ones are going to be matched and received by you? Which ones will bounce right off you? You may hear the words, but you need not resonate with the feelings behind them. Resonate with love instead. With practice, you can learn to be around anyone saying anything and remain in your own peaceful space. The more you practice feeling good, the easier it will become. And when someone does push your buttons, instead of trying not to feel what you do, simply accept yourself. Accept your feelings without judgment. In that acceptance and self-love, your wiring will gradually shift to kinder pathways in the brain, and you will start to feel better once again. Rather than allowing unpleasant words and behaviors to fester in your memory, choose to focus on something better. These behaviors don't deserve your attention. Your feelings are not at the mercy of those around you. They are not at the mercy of what is going on in the world. Your feelings belong to you and you alone. You get to choose your vibration, and therefore who and what you will resonate with, and therefore receive. In time, your buttons will disappear, and the lower vibrations of the world, though they buzz around you, will simply bounce off of you, unable to find a receiver. God bless you. We love you so very much. The angels. There is only one challenging person in your life. That, of course, is you. As long as you consider yourself to be a victim of the actions or behaviors of others, your life on planet Earth will be experienced as less than pleasant. Fortunately, victimhood is not the case. We have spoken before about the term projection. There are worse things that you could do than to print up a dozen cards with the word projection on them and post them throughout your home, car, and workplace, on every mirror, by the toilet, as a constant reminder that all you see in the world is your projection, no exceptions. The ego mind goes absolutely ballistic over this and will try incessantly to create exceptions. There are no cause and effect. You are the cause, and the world is the effect, never the reverse. So, as they like to say in New Age circles, there are no challenges or problems. There are only opportunities. These challenges with other people, which are your own creation, are opportunities for you to free yourself from judgment and separation. Or you can go on pretending that it's all about other people and suffer. It's your call. We don't have a horse in this race. As a review, this is how projection works. Your ego mind, which thinks it knows everything, or at least can figure everything out, knows nothing and can't figure out anything. It believes you are this body, but you're not. It thinks you are separate from God and divinity, but you're not. If we present this in the form of a story, keeping in mind that no story is true, it might go something like this. The ego believes that it chose to separate from God. This is the tiny confusion from which all of your problems stem. The ego is in error because it is not possible to separate from God. Anyway, on with the story. Ego mind creates this body and this universe as a way and a place to hide from God, realizing it has made a bad choice, wanting to go back home, desiring God's forgiveness, but feeling that this attempt to kill God is both unforgivable and deserving of severe punishment. Ego is in a tough spot. Let's list some other things that ego mind doesn't understand. First, you never left home. There is no separation. The body and the universe are what is not real. God does not and cannot judge. God is pure love. God does not and cannot punish. Meanwhile, in its imagined sinfulness, ego comes up with a plan. Put the blame on somebody else. Maybe God will notice that it is the other and not you who is guilty and deserving of judgment and punishment. Burn them, God. It's their fault, not mine. I'm innocent, you think. This is projection. Every time you judge another for anything, small or large, it is your guilt that you are projecting. It is all about you and not about them. In addition, you try to be a good person so that God will see that you are worthy to be brought back home. The only problem is that you cannot earn something that you already have, and the only one accusing you of sin is you. No number of good acts or projections will cleanse you of your self-imposed guilt. You cannot buy your way into heaven. You never left. It is only this guilt that holds you in your earthly hell. So, Forgive yourself. End of story. Well, not quite. You go on through life projecting. Other people are wrong, other countries are wrong, other religions are wrong. You are right and you are good, but there is something inside you that doesn't buy the whole story, that suspects that it is you who are truly guilty. Deep down is this fear, this dread of the inevitability of the coming retribution. Unconsciously, you draw loss, pain, failure, illness, and emotional turmoil into your life, always trying to pay this unpayable debt. This is where the healing can begin. Let go of the projection upon God. Let go at the same time of the projection that you have toward yourself. You are innocent. Nothing happened. You did not leave God. God is not upset. It is all much ado about nothing. You cannot hurt God, and God cannot hurt you. There is only love here. Now, let's return to the opportunity that you called a challenge. You have heard these words from me, perhaps read similar words in a course in miracles or heard them from some other teacher. But the bottom line is that you don't feel them. You feel yourself to be victim to another's energy. You're sick and tired of everything, but don't know what to do with it all. This projection works in a very specific way. You don't project everything on everyone. You project wonderful things onto some people, seeing them as loving and good. When you find yourself with a specific judgment toward another, that is what you believe about yourself, but don't want to face. You fear being punished, so you go into denial and project. Ego mind jumps in and yells, "I'm not like that." In truth, you are not, but you believe that you are. Until you own this, until you accept that the judgment is about self and has nothing to do with the other, nothing will change. You will live in projection and victimhood. Your job then is to take ownership of the projections, to accept that the judgment is aimed toward the self. For example, if your projection is that another is not honest with you, ask how you are not honest with yourself. What untruths about self are you believing to be true? Anything short of recognizing your absolute innocence, your divinity, is part of the lie. You are absolutely loved by God. But are you telling yourself that you are unlovable? You are always provided for. But are you telling yourself that you are undeserving and needy? Forgiveness is not a matter of recognizing where you have been bad and then asking to be forgiven. It is the realization that you have not and could not err. So there is nothing to forgive. There is only the love of God. Let's look at a specific example so you might gain a clearer picture of how this whole process has worked and could work for you. A popular one for those of you who have children is being a victim to them. They never clean, they don't do their homework, they are not responsible, they don't listen to me, they don't follow my rules, they don't respect me as the adult. We could go on, and you could each add to the list from your own experiences. Let's just focus on one part of the litany. My daughter never cleans up after herself. I am left with the choice of being in a constant fight or surrendering to grudgingly being my daughter's maid. The choice you make doesn't matter. What effects you feel come from what you carry around inside yourself. There is a judgment of her irresponsibility, causing you to make one of two equally undesirable choices. There is a good possibility that if you listen inside, there is a parent saying a similar thing about you. You were taught to be a good person, to clean up after yourself. Did that result in you feeling like a good person? Probably not. Did you learn to feel guilt when you didn't clean up? Probably. Did you resent being told what to do? Most likely. Now, as an adult, you act out of guilt and resentment when you must clean up. Instead of facing this inner anger and judgment, along comes this young whippersnapper on whom you can project all of this. The child may not be carrying the guilt or having a thought about what they should do unless you have been successful in drumming it into her. Maybe she is stronger than you and your parents' games don't work with her. Instead of passing your guilt on to her, you could realize that each moment of each day, you are carrying thoughts about what you should be doing to be a good person. What should you do? What does God want you to do? When you were small, your parents represented God for you. They taught you right and wrong, good and bad, providing punishments and rewards. That was your first church. You have the opportunity to notice that you have been forcing yourself to do what you don't want to do. Ego mind screams out, "Yeah, but if I don't do it, the house will be a total mess." Maybe. So what? Ego mind says there is probably a special circle in hell for bad housekeepers. Is that really true? Does God only take back home those with clean houses? What is actually going on here? What is really true? Recalling that God is unconditional love and acceptance. There are no rewards or punishments, no heaven or hell. You never left. It is only the ego mind that believes that what goes on here is of any consequence. So, back to now. Do you clean or not clean? Perhaps you wait until you feel like doing it. Perhaps your standards of cleanliness go through a transition. Perhaps you start listening more to what the inner guidance and the body tell you instead of marching to the orders of the guilt-driven ego mind. Without a sense of compulsion, there may be a joy in the act of cleaning. Perhaps in the now there is exhaustion, so go relax. Above all, thank your daughter for putting you in touch with your guilt and denial. Always thank your mirrors, at least silently. The root of all the fear, guilt, and blame is in the belief in separation. The truth is that there is oneness. You are one with the divine and with each other. What another is doing is what you are doing. It is all connected. In the perfection of what is happening right now in each moment, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The script, as we said in the last message, has already been written. If you accept what is without resistance, it opens you up to the truth of your divinity, to your oneness with the Creator and the creation. Can you begin to see the enormous value of seeing the actions of another as your projection? You are being handed the keys to the kingdom. All is within you, never outside of you. What a perfect gift your child, or whomever appears to be a challenge, is offering you with their every action. All of this requires no volition on anybody's part. Nobody needs to have any understanding of the part they are playing. They cannot help but to serve you. You only have choice on whether you wish to be served or bothered. It doesn't matter if the challenge in your life appears to be somebody who is irresponsible with money, has an addiction, is trying to control you, is abusive, ignores you, doesn't accept you for who you are, or we could go on and on and on. It doesn't matter if this person plays a central part in your life or you only meet them once. You have the choice to be a victim, seemingly forever, or to grasp the opportunity to let go of your imagined separation and see the gift that is being offered. As long as you hold this as being about the other, there is no way out. You are damned if you do and damned if you don't. But you are blessed and loved. This is your creation and you are doing a perfect job. Accept it and live in this now. You deserve to experience the love and peace that is the truth of you. Good now.